Mm, yes. Yesterday, already explained about start page and interface of the software, right? So I think you got an idea about Corelra, right? So today we'll start checking all the tools one by one. Take a new document, right? The size can be any size. For example, I'm taking A4 size, and the color mode CMYK you can keep this, and the resolution also 300, right? Keep these settings as it is, and the name also untitled one, right? Okay. Yes. This is our page, right? In the tools row here, these are all the tools. The left side we have all the tools, so one by one all tools we can check, right? See there, if you place cursor there, suppose there, see the corner of the tool, there is the black arrow mark it is showing. So that means what? You keep your cursor, left mouse cursor there, click and check. There are three types of tools are there. It's the pick tool and freehand pick and free transform pick, right? These three tools. Suppose see a pick tool, what can support you, how it can work. Select position or transform objects, right? So suppose take any object here, any object, it can be any shape or drawing or whatever the picture, photograph, whatever, right? Yeah, this is my square. For time being, I'm filling colors, right, to the box. I want to fill color. See, filling colors in Corelra, really it is very easy, right? So how to fill colors? After selecting this box with this pick tool, see there are colors here, the color palette is there, and here give the left click on that. With a simple left click you fill that area box, right? And again check with another color. This time I'm using blue, so with the left mouse you can check one by one all the colors. And for changing outline, so here for change outline I'm using a right click on that color. Suppose see I want to fill with the blue, press right click for changing that color and go with other color. Suppose see, so this way very easily you fill colors. And another way to filling outline and fill colors, suppose this time I want to use yellow color inside, right? Otherwise suppose blue color. Instead of clicking on that color, with the left mouse press that color with the left mouse, don't leave. Suppose see, here you choose in blue the other shades of the blue. Suppose this color I'm using, right? So you can choose these colors from this. Suppose this is, right? So filling colors in differently in other way. So I'm pressing yellow. After pressing my left click on mouse, don't release your left click, keep that, and you drag that color. See, you drag that color. Suppose again I'll fill, you drag that color and red color I'm filling. See, with your cursor it is coming to into that, and here drop here. If you drop here, it can apply to the outline, right? It is showing like box outline, and if you drop here it is filling with the red inside. And now I want to change this outline color. So how can I change? The click on yellow and without releasing your mouse, drag and drop on outline. See, really this is very easy, right? Right. Now come to a pick tool. So this is pick tool. select position or transform objects, right? See, this is my object, and you can deselect this and again select. For selecting any object, you can use this pick tool, and after selecting that, if you want to move this anywhere on page or outside the page, right? And one more thing, after selecting that and again select one more time, so you will get the controls to rotate your object. See here, the rotation marks are appearing here. With rotation mark, you rotate your object. Here the reference point, your center point, you drag and keep somewhere. Suppose I'm keeping here, and you can turn that object. So fixing with that point, you are rotating actually your object. See, and this time you can keep here and rotate. Yes, you are rotating object. So with one click, select your object and move, and with the second click on that, you'll get the rotation marks. See, you can rotate how you want actually, here or there or here. Accordingly, this will move, right? And change this point here, center, and now you can turn this with the center. So again, when you click on this object, if you observe here, this control panel, here it is, the control panel about tools. With the tools, some other options with the same tool, the options are available here. Suppose here some settings, measurements are showing here. See, X and Y. This is what, if you keep your cursor there, it is telling object position. Position the object on the page by setting the X and Y coordinates. Suppose, see, I'm moving this left side. See, they're changing, right? Suppose with the left arrow on keyboard, I'm using this. See, only X value means it's going in horizontally, and suppose here I'm pressing up arrow. See, the only Y value is changing. That means what? You can control your X and Y values. And other thing is object size. Set the width and height of the object. Suppose, see, this is my normal object. Here I'm changing this into bigger and smaller, right? Suppose, see, here I'm using only upside. See, this value only it is changing. So that means what? Scale the factor, scale the object by setting a percentage, and here set the width and height on the object. Suppose here now I'm changing this width. See, the top values, X values, so they're changing, right? And here it is suppose lock ratio. Suppose I'm giving the ratio here 150. Suppose unlock this first. Yes, 150. I think it's not unlocked. 150, and here I'm giving 150. See, so 150. Yeah, so it is locked. Yes, want to give the same value here. It's not changing. So lock ratio, preserves the original rate of the width to height when scaling and sizing the object. Okay, so when you scale this value is changing. Suppose here I want to give something like 200. Yeah, so scale factor, scale the object by setting percentage. Yeah, this is the percentage actually, 150 percentage or 200 percentage. Yeah, it is taking proportionately actually. So according to this, the top value it is taking, right? You can fix that value, you can change that. Right, here it is the angle of rotation. So give the rotation. Suppose here I'm giving 80 degrees. You can give the value to change that in Control Z. And here it is the mirror horizontally. You click this, and this is, suppose here yes, this is, so mirror horizontally and mirror vertically and mirror horizontally. You are reflecting just like a mirror, you are changing that, right? And here it is a round corner. Curve the corners of the rectangle when the corner radius values is greater than 0, and this is also scalped corners. Replace the corners of the rectangle with curved notches when the corner radius value is greater than 0. So the shape can change, look like, right? And this is again the corner radius. Suppose here you can give some value here, see, and here give something like 15. So sometimes we want these kind of shapes when you work on real-time projects or making logos and shapes, patterns. So you can enter the value, so automatically it takes that. And corner radius, here I'm taking corner radius. Suppose here I'm giving some value, how much, the 5 value I gave, and here I'm giving a 10. See, accordingly as per your given values, it is converting, it is changing into that, right? Yes, and here it is relative corner scaling. So automatically when you give this, relatively the corners are changing. So scale the corners in relation to the size of the rectangle, right? So the same rectangle size, you can give that a value accordingly, right? And here this is outline width. Suppose the outline width is 0.5 and here I'm giving 4. Yes, and suppose 10 I'm taking, right? You can change the outlines. Sometimes you want hairline, and sometimes a very big line, thick line. Sometimes you don't want any outlines, then apply none. See, there is no outline, only a color, right? And here this is wrap text. When you work with text options, these options will work. And the same way here, these are the front layer, movement of the front layer, move the objects to front layer or back layer. So this will understand in the coming classes. Convert to curves, I'll explain about these things, right? So on each tool we have to check all these controls and options, right? Yeah, I'm deleting this, and here again I'm planning one box here. Fill with any color, then we'll understand more clearly, right? Then here check the freehand pick. So how it works, the freehand pick tool select objects by using a freehand selection. By using a freehand selection, marquee, position and transform objects. With the freehand, suppose you can select your box, or otherwise yeah, with the free hand you can choose from group. Suppose here there is a one more box, here one more box, one more box. These are the boxes, right? So from this corner you can select by lasso method. So we use this in Photoshop, right? So look like lasso, you select your entire box or otherwise object by giving the selection with the entire object, and you can select. So for selection purpose, in freehand selection purpose, this tool we use. At the same way, if you observe here, so position and the transforms also it can change. Suppose here, see, yes, transforming objects, yeah, transforming objects and positions also changing, right? And this is free transform. So with the free transform tool, rotate, skew, mirror and scale objects. So you can mirror, see, you can mirror or skew and scale objects accordingly, so with your hand pressure, right? So how you want, you can choose yourself. So these are what actually selection tools, and different times, different ways we have to select objects, right? Perfect. Next next tool category, we have shape tool, smooth tool, smear tool, twill tool, attract, repel, smudge and roughen. So see this, first we use this check tool, I mean shape tool. This is really very important tool, because you can give the shapes to your objects, drawings, okay, by controlling and converting by this shape tool, right? I'm using the shape tool. Yes, now see, I selected this. Suppose here I selected this box. Now see, if I use this tool, see, it is changing into a circle, and here I'll check again, see, it is changing the shapes. In the same way here also you can change the shape, or otherwise choose the options here. Scalped corner. So see, sometimes very easily we control, we get these kind of shapes. And this is also this is what chamfered corner, so you can use this, see. And otherwise give some value. Suppose here I'm giving 15. See, by giving the values you can control this, right? These are really very easy. If you add the value, so automatically it takes and it changes into that, right? Shape tool is really very important to control and give shapes. And this is a smooth tool. Yes, yeah, smooth tool, smooth object by dragging along its outline. For that I'm taking a freehand tool. So this is my object. Suppose this is my continuous object I'm giving. This I'll delete, this I'll delete and select this. If you observe here, see, some roughness, the sharp edges are there, somewhere the curve corners are there. I want to smooth them. So that case I'll use this smooth tool. Just click on that and see your the cursor, you drag on that, so it is getting into a smooth. Suppose here if you observe this, it is getting into smoother. And the value also you can increase. Suppose here the value is nib size is 0.5, right? And here the rate, set the speed at which the effect is applied, right? At the same time here the same kind of rate, and here we are the pen pressureness also we had. So in CorelDRAW we use pen pressures, so that vacuum pads, if you connect that, so automatically the pen tablet can behave differently, right? So here I'm giving some value and I'm changing it into 3 and enter. Now see, immediately very nicely it is changing into a smooth line, right? So sometimes we use all these things, getting into see, very normal, very nice, very nice, perfect, right? And the another one is smear tool. The smear tool, so about this smear tool, change the edge of an object by dragging along its outline. So change the object of an edge of the object by dragging along its outline. Suppose here I'll delete all these things, delete this, and delete this. Yes, get here, rise. Now check this, change the edge of an object by dragging along its outline, right? See, along its outline you are changing the shape. So that means what, very easily you control and you can convert your actual shape into something like, right? So to controlling your freehand shapes we use this tool. And this is a twill tool. So I'll delete, I want to keep this side, and I'm making, yeah, one box here and fill with red color, and here I'm taking twill tool, add swivel effects by dragging along the outline or an object. See, along the outline, so with the outline you can swivel this. See, this is really very nice. See, and the amount of the swivelness also you can control by checking this nib size and these values, a rate of the speedness, and suppose swivelness counterclockwise fill. So here it is turned this side, and of course this side also we can control. Suppose here one more the shape I'm giving, this time I'm using blue, and now use this tilt tool, and now this an opposite. Here I want to take a square box, not circle actually. I'm using a square box. Now take this twill tool and click on this, and now see, this is changing into other side, opposite side. This is really very interesting tool. Mostly this tool is really helpful when you make some patterns. So that is the reason the fashion designers and textile industry people, mostly they use CorelDRAW to make symbols, shapes, patterns, right? So they create one pattern, the same pattern, some design, they prepare design and they copy into they replace every time left and right and entire the dress or cloth or whatever the garment on that. So they fill with this pattern. It can be a nice a fashion design, right? So the same way they create different kind of patterns. So this is really very good tool. And here it is, attract. Sorry, attract. It attracts, reshape objects by attracting nodes to the cursor. So here, attracting nodes to the cursor. Yes, see, See, it is attracting nodes to the cursor. So attraction, it attracts. See, then, and another one is a ripple. So it also, this also look like the same, but reshape objects by pushing nodes away from the cursor. So here we have to apply away from the cursor. Yes, reshape object by pushing nodes away from the cursor. See, away from the cursor. You are, that means what, these all tools in this category, all tools, they're working almost the same to change the shape, actual shape, into something like we use these tools. And this is a smudging. Yes, the smudge tool, and because it is very small amount of a number here, it is there, and I'm giving into 2. Yes, now you see this, and you have to select this. After selecting, use this smudge tool, change the shape of an object by dragging along its outline. See, along its outline, smudging with your finger. If you rub on any drawing or a shape on paper, so it smudges. The same way this tool also can work. And the next one is a roughen. A roughen objects, what actually it creates the rough edges, rough surface. Suppose here, see, I'm using this a roughen tool, and the amount of that value also we can increase. And control, I'm giving 2 and press enter. Yes, now see, if you observe here, so what is happening? See, a roughen, and the value, it is taking more. Instead of that, I'm giving 1 only. And now you check this, a roughen. So it is giving something like cracked a border look like. See, sometimes we use this. These are all the reshaping art tools. You can reshape all these things, right? So in this category, in this shape, smooth, smear, twill, attract, repel, and smudge, roughen, sometimes we use to get shapes in easy way, right? Yes, you select all these things and move this side, other side. And now, so I'm giving one object here and fill with this, and the other tool, crop tool, knife tool, virtual segment, delete tool, and eraser tool. We know very well. So by applying this crop tool, you select that area and you can delete this. Only that portion remains, other portion vanished, gone. So this is what the crop tool. Very easily we crop objects or even photographs also. And this is knife tool. So knife tool, how it works, slice an object to split it into 2 separate objects. So this object, the slice tool, can split into 2 objects. Suppose here I'm taking here and this is, and from there here I'm taking one more. And we can remove these portions because already they sliced it. See, beautifully sliced. That is a simple knife tool. And this is a virtual segment tool. This is also very important tool. So virtual segment delete tool, remove overlapping segments in objects. So this tool is really helpful when you make some drawings or sketches and overlap lines you have to work with overlap lines sometimes in a complicated way. So sometimes you add unnecessary lines in a overlap way, so you can remove those overlap unnecessary lines by using this virtual segment delete tool. So how it works? Yes, you can observe here I'm giving one box here, and over on that one more box, and here again one more box. See, these are all overlapped each other. So this is 1 and this is 2 and this is 3, right? These are the three boxes. I want to remove, suppose if I delete this, see, one by one it is removing, but I want only that overlapped portion. Suppose this portion I want to delete, this portion I want to delete, only this area. So that case we use this virtual segment tool and just click on that portion. Very nicely you can remove. See, you are placing that the virtual segment knife and you can remove. This is really helpful to remove unwanted, unnecessary areas from your designs. See, this is nice, right? So this tool is really helpful. And next, eraser tool. Yeah, we know eraser tool erases nicely whatever the whatever you want to erase with eraser tool. And if you want to give the value, suppose if you want a square nib or otherwise a round nib, right, you can change auto close on cut. So suppose here close the paths that result from splitting an object. Suppose, see, I'm using this, see, it's splitting into objects, and here it is auto close and cut. Auto close and cut, and here the value, so the nib, square nib, yeah, square nib we are using here, and the value also I'm changing into 1, so you'll get the big size nib. And here reduce nodes, reduce the number of nodes in the erased area. Suppose reduce the nodes, that means what, you are reducing actually nodes. So anyway, this is a simple eraser tool. It's very easy to understand. Alright, yes, and here it is a zoom tool. So click on this zoom tool, right? And zoom tool again we have Z. The shortcut is Z here. If you observe here the control panel here, to fit, suppose to fit your page is fitting to screen, to width 150% or otherwise 75%, you can choose manually or otherwise click on this and click on this and click on this, otherwise minus, just give this minus. Yes, minus. It's taking into minus. The other things here, zoom to selected, magnify only that selected object. See, only that selected object. This is what zoom to all objects. Zoom to all objects. Zoom to page, adjust the magnification level to fit the entire page. So to fit the entire page we are using here. And this is zoom to page width. To page width we are zooming, and zoom to page height, to page height. So this is just like zooming part by part and particular area, right? It's very easy to understand. And this is panning. The panning means what? The shortcut is H. You can move your page horizontally or vertically, right? So this is also very common thing, right? Yes, for today I explained only these tools. You practice yourself and understand, and keep questioning. And if you have really have any questions and doubts, please ask me. Okay, so thank you.